Welcome to the 3G Fitness Podcast,
where 3 generations of trainers come together to discuss all things fitness related.
Join us as we share insights, tips, and stories from our diverse experiences as we unravel the secrets of staying fit. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 3Gs Podcast with your hosts, Coach Kyle.
Coach Michael,
And I'm Coach Cisco.
Yes, sir. Today, we're going to talk about some tips on how to gain muscle. I can start off by saying one of the things that you got to focus on is applying stress to the muscles through resistance training.
Mm-hmm.
What would be next? What do you guys have?
well, when we say grow muscle, we're talking about swell, right? Pumping.
Yeah.
Get pumped, right? Okay. Because, you know, muscle doesn't grow elongated, right? You guys looking at me like...
We'll keep
See,
talking.
Muscle grows this way, grows elongated. Pump grows, getting a swole is that this way.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
when you're born,
Okay.
you're born with a certain amount of muscle, okay, and it's not going to grow. Okay, it's not going to get longer. Muscle doesn't.
Okay, you're talking about like your insertions.
Yeah.
They don't.
So when you do the pump, it's
They get
swells.
thicker.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
That's
that
what
is
I'm
what
saying.
we're talking about, Mike.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Damn, I'm.
Why you always make things so complicated, Mike?
I was like, where is he going to take
you
this?
always
We're,
make things so
we're about to get on this crazy ride right now. Where is he taking us?
Game.
All right, like perfect example. Kyle, how old were you, or how much did you weigh when you graduated from high school?
240.
You weighed 240?
I mean, sorry, 140. My bad. I wish. My fault. 140.
All right, you weighed 140 in high school. How
140.
much do you weigh right now?
170.
All right. If you look at Kyle, that's a 30-pound difference. I'm pretty sure that's majority muscle.
It's muscle.
Right?
It's muscle.
How'd you get there?
I lifted weights again. Resistance training. I'm just gonna go through everything. Resistance training. Supply your muscles with enough protein to grow, and rest and recover properly through proper sleep and hydration. Simple.
And those are, like I said, we keep those steps very simple, right? But it's one of those things where consistency is always going to be important too. I do agree with the first thing you said. We gotta create stress to the muscle in order to build it up. Because, like I said, if you weighed 140 and to get to 170, I'm pretty sure you weren't out there doing like marathon runs or anything like that, right? You were
I was in basketball. I was in basketball my whole 4 years. Yep.
Okay. And cool. But then now when you gain those 30 pounds, how much more time did you spend in the weight room?
Oh, a lot more, dude.
Exactly, right.
Like every day type.
And so, and when you were doing that, was it more of were you doing a workout split? Were you doing a total body routine? What were you, or were you isolating just one muscle?
I think when I first started, it was definitely a total body thing because I didn't know much about anything. I just got into the gym. I was first introduced to the gym during high school for a basketball, but it wasn't like much heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled across the bodybuilding split, which was like chest and buys, back and tries, shoulders, and then legs, and I just followed that for a while.
And then you felt like you got pretty good results with that.
Oh yeah, for sure, because I stayed consistent with it.
Oh. And then you, Mike, you started lifting when you were like 14.
I was 130 pounds.
You were 130 pounds. All right. Obviously, throughout the years, you put on some mass or anything like that. What were you doing then? Were you spending a lot of time in the weight room as well?
Probably 5 days a week.
5 days a week. What was the routine looking like?
It depends. Training. I do chest, then I rotate, do a leg, then I rotate, do arms. I always try to do chest and arms in that same training method I have. And I actually still do it. You made a comment. I always see you do bench and arms and then lats. Because those are the major exercises I've always done. And I believe that when you're training, you stay on. You stay on that. If you're doing biceps, you're gonna do triceps. You stay on that. You don't do it once and then come back to it in 2 weeks or a week and do it. I feel,
Consistent.
You do it once, you do it on a Monday, you do it, maybe on a Thursday. and you stay consistent. Consistency is the most important thing, I think, in training.
In the weight room.
You want to hit those muscles at least once a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
You always.
If you hit it twice a week, you'll get a lot more growth for sure.
Well,
And,
that's,
and
If you do it 3 times a week, that's a lot of growth. But it does require a lot of training.
I do two a week, always, but I'm consistent to do it. You'll see me in there doing the same thing over because consistency is majorly important.
it is, right? And so, and that's the one thing that I was trying to get at is that, like, I think the same thing. My path is very similar to your guys' path. I think when I was in my teens, I was 150. Now I'm like 180 and whatnot. And it's one of those things where spending more time in the weight room. And I think I started very similar to you, Kyle. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, let me do a bench. Let me do a lat. Oh, let me do a leg press. And, let me do a curl, a tricep.
Right.
I would probably hit total body. It wasn't until I started getting a better understanding of how the muscle groups work together. So it's like, all right, if I know I'm going to do a chest day, well, my triceps are already getting a burn going on too. I can probably keep the burn going by just isolating that. So then the isolation part, I think, is when the muscle building started happening a lot better.
Yeah.
For me, and I think that's what you said too. It started happening.
Isolation, yeah, for sure.
When I do arms, I do bicep and I do back arm, one after another. I do one, or I do them both. One, and I rotate it. But I always do them in the same workout.
And then one thing that you said too, you said maybe like if you say where you were to hit your arms on a Monday, you would follow it up on a Thursday. Right. Why wouldn't you, for the listeners that are very new to this or anything like that, why wouldn't you do it the very next day?
Oh, you need rest.
Why? Well, like how
you might be sore.
You need a recovery time, and that's your recovery time when you train and then you take a day off, and you let your muscles recover. Recovery is very important. It's extremely important when you're training. Doing one and then doing it again the next day, you're actually tearing it down. When you're going back to back like that. So if you work and then do a recovery time, and then you might take 2, and then you hit it again, and then your muscles they've rested.
Right. The growth happens not in the gym, but when you're recovering.
Boom, you hit it right there, because it's one of those, how you said, when you're lifting weights, you're building stress to the muscle. And you're stressing that muscle.
Micro tears.
Yes, exactly. You're stressing out your muscle to a point where you're tearing it. So every time it's like one of those, like, yeah, you're tearing your muscle right now. You need to give it at least a day to 2 to recover and build up. And while in those 2 days it's building up and recovering, that's where you're getting the growth. As like how you said.
Then it's trying to prepare itself to handle that stress better next time.
How many days you have during the week for recovery?
How many what?
Days. How many out of a week? How many days do you do recovery?
In the week?
If you got 7 days and you're training, you got to give yourself a recovery time, right? So do you have 1 or 2 days, or you have 3 days?
Oh, rest days?
Yeah.
Right now I have 2 rest days.
See, because I have 3. Okay.
I'll go 3 days on, and then 2 off, and then 2 days on.
Yeah, that's because you're young. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, hey, when I first started, dude, I was going 7 days a week.
Oh, I
no
know.
rest days. My body could handle it. Now I can't do that. I get so gassed.
I go Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, and I go Thursday, Friday. I'm off Saturday, Sunday. Except yesterday, I took Friday off and came Saturday.
And you did, you didn't do much yesterday. I was there.
But I think that's where creating your split takes into play too.
To me, the split is, I think, more important, because I'll go 3 days and then I'll take a day off, and then usually try to go 3 days, then take a day off and whatnot.
It's just whatever works best for that specific individual. But if you do that properly, then you're allowing your muscles to rest in between the days that you hit it.
Because I do cardio on my off days. Nothing strenuous, but LIT.
So it's like a lit.
It's
from
lit.
the last episode that was low intensity training. Yes, yeah.
That's what my recovery. That's what.
So your recovery days is an active rest type of day.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. But the percentage of the time of that day is more rest. It's I'd probably say cardio will probably is probably like 30 to 45 minutes. But the rest of that is like just doing things around the house and relaxing and stuff, and
so now we talked about tearing the muscle down through workout, letting the muscle recover through rest,
Right.
And now we're
In
talking
between, you got to supply with protein, is what I was
Exact-
talking about earlier.
So that was the third thing you
Which
mentioned,
general
right?
recommendation is about 1 gram is a good place to start. 1 gram per body weight.
So, okay. So then what would be the easiest ways that you would think would be the best way to kind of help individuals out to reach that number?
Supplement with protein powder. That's what I do. Whey
Mhm.
protein. It's just an easy way to get those in real quick.
Yeah, because I think I've even heard you say with your clients, you do deal with a lot of clients that are trying to do a lot of muscle gain.
Mm-hmm.
You say you usually recommend them to take,
Two scoops a day.
2 scoops a day.
Because that's generally about like 50, maybe 55 grams already alone. That's way more than
Well,
what they were doing before already.
I don't,
without
I don't, I don't take protein right now. Okay, protein powder. I'm clarify. I don't take protein powder right now.
Mhm.
Because I'm more on a weight loss kind of program.
Mhm.
So mine are just natural resources of protein, which
Well, yeah, ideally, if you could, you definitely want to get those protein from whole food
Right.
sources.
Yeah.
But if you can't, supplementing is not a bad idea.
yeah,
That's why supplementing is usually the easiest because obviously you got your chicken, your ground beef, your turkeys,
collagen.
well, we're talking about food wise, okay? we're talking about food and whatnot. We're not talking about the supplements because the supplements is more of a easy way to shorten it in, right? If you say you have a chicken breast for lunch, roughly a chicken breast can vary between 40 to 50 grams of protein, depending on the size, and then maybe you have some ground beef for dinner. All right. For the most people, that's already a lot of meat throughout the day that they're not used to. And and the ground beef could even equate to the same, roughly about 40 grams. So let's just say a 50-40, that's about 90 grams of protein in your lunch and your dinner that you're getting. And a lot of individuals don't eat more after that. They struggle to kind of get more meals in.
I would say it's probably even less than that because
It could be,
their
right?
servings are even not normally up to par to what it should be.
So even if we're giving them that much credit, like let's just even bring it down to 80 grams. They're just in food alone, probably most individuals are consuming about 80 grams. That's where the supplements can come in. All right, cool. You know what? Here's a protein shake, 25 grams. Here's another one, as Kyle says, there's another 25 grams. Now you're from 80 to 130.
Big difference.
That's a big difference. And like I said, it's one of those ways where now you're fueling the body properly too. And so that's why I think you got to find a way how to really get them in or anything like that. Because let's be real, most of us, we've been training for a long time now. When we tell clients about protein intake and how much they should be intaking, they say the first thing they say is that's a lot. I get that. That's one of the most common answers I get. That's a lot of protein. I was like, how do you get there? Because they're not eating the right foods or anything like that. So, and I tend to like kind of try to guide them with like, hey, maybe try this for breakfast, try this or anything like that. A lot of people think eggs has a lot of protein. I was like, that's only like 7 grams.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
have
6
eggs in
grams
there.
per.
Yeah,
Egg
like,
white of it.
But I eat like 4
yeah, you got to eat
at a
like
time.
4, right?
6, 18, 24.
And
Yeah.
so
I eat egg white liquid.
egg
That
white
too.
liquid, that's a
That
good
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those are one of those ways that are, like I said, is going to be helping you out. So now we've talked about, stressing the muscle down,
Mm-hmm.
recovering it, and fueling it. Anything else you guys are trying to add on to kind of help individuals build muscle?
Sleep.
Collagen.
Sleep is part of recovery, but get your 8 hours of sleep. Stay hydrated. Half of your body weight in ounces is a general rule of thumb. If you want to aim for higher, you should aim for maybe like a gallon a day if you can. But yeah, sleep, water, that's it.
Collagen is great, Mike, but it's just like, I swear,
Especially
you're like,
for older people.
why? Okay, explain again, why is collagen great for older people?
Well, because it helps the joints, and gives you protein. Yeah,
Yes.
because you got like 20 grams to every scoop of protein.
Yes.
And it definitely helps the joints.
Yeah.
And your joints start going bad when you get older.
We're talking about building muscle.
Yeah, but we're just talking about collagen though.
Right.
Okay.
Mike just
but
loves
if,
collagen.
but
Muscle.
if we take the protein from collagen, it's
So
better.
We'd want to get whey protein, not collagen.
What?
So
Whey protein over collagen.
what about ISO?
No. Well, I mean,
Yeah, because collagen is
it
more
would
for like
it would probably
nails,
do, it would
hair.
probably do you, whey would probably do you great because you're in that phase of training to where protein is like really it's important.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, in my phase of training, protein is not. I can get it from natural resources, and I can get it from collagen because it has a lot of protein and 20 grams to it. So, taking protein powder is not something that would really honestly benefit me as being,
But you're not part of the topic. The topic is gaining muscle. You're weight loss.
Yeah.
So you're not the topic right now. So the topic.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
You're not the topic,
You're not
Mike.
the topic right now.
Excuse me.
You're talking about weight loss. We're talking about muscle gain.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not talking about weight loss. I'm talking about protein.
Well, yeah, but right now the way how you're talking about protein, you're talking about how you're applying
Yeah.
protein for weight loss.
Yeah.
We wanna
Wrong
make
episode.
sure-
No,
yeah,
wrong
no.
episode.
I didn't say
Yeah.
I was taking protein for weight loss. No.
Yes, you're the way how you're speaking.
Oh, how I'm saying it sounds like it. Right?
Yeah, it sounds
Okay,
like you're
all right,
speaking
excuse me.
like that.
I wasn't putting it that way. I wasn't meaning it.
we
want
want to talk about how to take protein for weight gain. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 67 years old. We do apologize for the inconvenience.
That's okay.
Back to regular played programming.
That's all right. That's okay.
But and let's individually, we all been giving out like little tips and bits. Let's start with you, Kyle, because I feel like you are very more like closer to this muscle gain topic than all of us because you've been recently doing it. What would be like the best advice you would give for someone that's listening?
Ooh, best advice. Probably just with training style. I feel like you'd have to really dial in on like making sure your technique is right. Time under tension is key. I don't think we talked about time under tension, but that's one of the biggest things when you're trying to stress the muscle is how much stress you can keep putting on that muscle. So, time under tension and just stay consistent.
What about you, Mike?
Stay consistent. That's it. That's my thing. Consistency is so important in training.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your program is, just as long as you're consistent doing it, you're going to get your results. That's how I look at training. I always put consistency first.
And I'll just piggyback there talking about consistency train. I would just say track everything that you do, especially in the weight room, because a lot of people just go in and they're doing, but they're not really keeping track. So just really track. If you know
Progressive overload.
Yeah, exactly. If you
Good
know,
way.
if you were lifting 30-pound dumbbells on Monday and you did it for 12 reps, maybe on Thursday, Friday, when you repeat that exercise, do it for 15. And then maybe, moderate your sets. After maybe you accomplish 3 sets, hey, maybe add 1 more set. All right, cool. Now gradually go from 30 to 35, then 35 to 40. So that's one thing.
As long as you try to keep making it harder for yourself each time you go. And that could be through reps, through sets, through tempo. Just make it harder every time so your body can continue to adapt to the stress. So you're putting it through and it'll continue to grow and build muscle.
Yep, because like Kyle said earlier, whenever you're building and stress and tearing the muscle down, you're building it stress so that way it can perform better the next time. And you want to make sure the next time you're doing it, you're at least aiming to perform better. And listen to your body, because maybe your body is still recovering from that stress it did a couple of days ago. If your body is telling you it can't do it, it might be a time to like recover and maybe do some stretches for that area to help it recover a lot quicker as well too.
Stretching is very important after you train.
Yeah,
Before you train too, but after you train is even more important, I feel like.
Yeah.
Listen to your body and not your mind, because your mind will make you want to do more.
Ego lifter.
When your body is not going to do it.
Yeah. So like I said, those are some of the advices and tips that we have.
Yeah.
Once again, you guys can always find us on our social media handlers. They're in the description. Leave us comments, questions, concerns, and that way we can reach out to you that way. Same thing. Like, subscribe, and follow us. That way we can get back to you.
That's it. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.